Okay, so I need to persuade you to do one big thing that honestly kind of it did screw up my account a little bit, or at least made it a bit less valuable than it should have been. And it was something to basically make my account progress quicker that really just hurt myself in the long run. So I do want to kind of talk about this because it is actually very important and I've seen it done. And I think it's because people just focus so much on the SSR weapons, but then you got to realize that SR weapons are also really good. And unfortunately for my account, well, I mean, this is the best SR weapon in the game, but I don't have dupes in it. So why would I really go and dupe it up when I actually have SSR weapons with dupes in them? And the reason is because of salvaging. So I used to just press select all, include SRs, select all, and then get all this good stuff, right? Which at first doesn't seem to be like a horrible idea. And the main reason why I did it was because I wanted to level up my weapons quicker, which, you know what? Say less, we are definitely doing that. And you know, over time, I'm like, oh, wait, some SR weapons are really good. Okay, so please do not salvage any of your SR weapons. What I recommend you doing, if you're, oh, nice freeze. If you really want to get some extra XP, the most you're doing, but this is not like day 1, 2, 3, this is a bit later, is really just salvaging the rares, okay? Rares is gonna be giving you an okay amount of stuff. So rares is gonna be giving you the weapon enhancement gear, the normal ones, and then also Trace of Dimensions, just the normal silver ones. Now, if you do a purple, then you're getting more weapon enhancement, and then you're getting this one instead. And same thing for an SSR, which is giving that, but then also exclusive weapon designs, which not really something you need at the moment. But will definitely be helpful for you for the hunters later on. Now, you want to focus on a certain amount of weapons, okay? Just like mainly two, three. But we're going to talk in this video, first of all, about different ways to get weapon upgrades, because obviously I did it because I wanted to upgrade my weapons quicker early on, and that screwed myself over because some SR weapons are really good and should definitely be, I'd say, invested into. I would have much rather to get Westwind up instead of Demon King's Longsword for the little bit of the story that had type advantage with wind. So we're going to talk about the good ones and then also how to really get the weapon upgrade materials. So to start off, how are you going to be getting level upgrade materials, right, for the weapons? Now, one way, I'm just going to start off with this one, more later game, but I think once you start getting the mining in, if you go to the exchange shop and you go to Monocrystal Exchange, you will be able to, in fact, get weapon enhancement gear. Now, you usually do want to at least get your Encore keys and your instance keys every day, but when you have extra, usually you will be just getting the weapon enhancement gear from this, at least a bit if you do need it. Now, besides that, another big way is going to be from stories. So stories are actually going to give a load of oh, there's a 15.5. I did not know that, but there's going to be a load of weapon enhancement gear in here. Now the main ones is going to be from side stories and hard. So I'd see in actually wait, sorry, yeah, my bad, side stories in hard. So you're going to see here, right, like I'm getting 40 and then like another 40 would be here, and even before, like we could check here, then this one I think is for blessings, but certain ones will be giving more. Hard is going to be giving you a good amount, and instead you might be getting weapon enhancement gear too. So doing hard, doing all the side stories, being able to complete it is going to be actually very important. So hard is going to be giving you a lot of these resources that you do need, also for gear, right, gear and weapons. So I would say that when you unlock hard, continue doing every chapter, every side chapter, and it's going to let you progress a lot quicker, even like especially the side chapters, because 30 for the time when you unlock this is actually going to be very helpful and definitely should be done. Now, the main other way is going to be in gates. I have a lot of gate keys. I'm going to get rid of them someday. But the main thing is that you want to do the blue ones. Okay, you want to do the normal gates to be able to get these weapon enhancement gears. And honestly, a lot of the times early game, doing the blue gears, blue dungeons is going to be better. The blue gates is going to be better than actually doing the yellow gates. Now the red dungeons for sure do them, they give good rewards, but you always, like for the most part, doing the blue ones is totally fine because you're actually going to get a lot of good stuff that is going to be very important. Like even just 2 of these is nice, and then like if I sweep this, right, then getting another 2, right? So being able to do stuff like that, but then obviously you get other stuff from doing red gates, so that's definitely something to know, and that is actually very sad. I'll get him up in a little bit, but for sure, being able to do these, getting the weapon enhancement gear is another pretty simple way, especially if you're able to just sweep it away. It's going to be a nice way to just get some over time. Now you have to understand you're gonna be in a bit of a deficit early on, right? There's gonna be a lot of you're gonna feel weapon enhancement gear missing, but it's just how it's gonna be. If you want to salvage your rares, go ahead, but do not touch your SRs. Now let's get into the top 3 SR weapons that I think are gonna be very good for you guys to actually get up there. The first one is going to be Westwind. So it did get a bit of a nerf, but in terms of overall damage, it is going to be insanely good. So the reason is because of the ultimate. Okay, the ultimate's going to be able to do a kind of charge shot, especially when you get it to dupe 1. And if it wants to load, hello? So you're going to see it does a charge shot, and that shot's able to go through 2 units. So if you play it well, this one could even hit multiple targets that are like double bosses, and it could be super duper strong. And because it's wind and there's not many wind options, and the wind sword is worse than like the 3 top SSR weapons I have here, it's just better to like get Westwind up. And you can see even for dupes, very good dupes, because damage increases by up to 130%. Okay, then you could see I think dupe 3 also is going to be applying the Westwind effect, which could stack up to 5 times of Secret Bullet, which is a 150% damage increase, right? And then you could also see that like the dupe 5 reduces the cooldown, so you could start spamming it even more. So this one is going to be just pure damage, and it's going to work super well. Okay, so please do not get rid of that one for sure. Now, next up, the Radiru family's Longbow. Now, the main reason why you're going to want it is mainly because of the Igris fight, okay? So Igris, you fight him in Chapter 8, and especially for free-to-play, is very difficult, okay? Very, very difficult. But it is going to be good, has pretty decent range, looks nice, right? Is going to be able to get okay damage increase, right? But it's not going to be like anything too crazy. But then you could also see like ignores defense, and then it's going to be stunning, which is going to be okay. I mean, against Igris, it does help. It gives you a bit more of a window. But then like at dupe 5, it profits from the stun, giving the attack increase. So, or the damage increase. So this one's not going to be bad, but it's going to be more if you don't have the light gun that you're going to use this one, but you're actually going to see some usability out of it. So like, I guess there is that. Now the next one, Orb of Avarice, another big damage one. We could like view the preview here. Now, like, you know, that is pretty good, especially for AoE. For story, this one, I think a lot of people are actually going to find a lot of use in. Now, it does increase MP consumption, but early on, early game, it's not really going to be too much of a problem. And like, you know, it's good now that I have some dupes, but this could have been this could have been maxed out like A10, right? Considering there's 5 dupes, but then an extra 5 dupes that give you the extra stats, right? And I mean, I just didn't really consider that. I didn't consider it. It would have been nice to be able to like have these, especially a fire and a wind one are the two, like, in my opinion, the weakest elements. So having a fire orb of avarice that was strong would have been nice. And like, you know, we would have gotten the increased damage, right? And then what is it? You recover MP, and then you get 30 instances of the Raging Black Flame, which is going to let you recover MP even quicker. So it's like you lose MP, but then with the dupes, you start getting MP back a little bit. So those are like 3 weapons that I'd really consider building. If you want a more in-depth weapon guide, you could actually go check out the weapon tier list that I made with Vulcan on his channel, which, you know, big thank you to Vulcan for actually doing that with me. But no, I'm telling you, you do not want to sell your SR weapons, okay? There's so many points in story where you're actually going to need certain weapons. And I feel like the 2 biggest ones, if we're really checking it out, is going to be, in my opinion, chapter like 14, 15, where everything is type disadvantaged, where you're type advantage with wind, okay? So you want to use wind, right? And then there's going to be also chapter 8. Chapter 8 and 9 is like a big, well, chapter 8 mainly is a big one where it's like you're gonna want to, can I press replay? Yeah, you're gonna want to use light. And if you don't have an SSR weapon that's light, an SR weapon that's light ain't gonna be too much worse. So I hope that helps. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will see you guys in the next one, and peace.